All right, what's up, guys? So I know this is, I primarily have a truck account, but this is another passion of mine. These are eastern hognose snakes, and um, they are not quite as common in the pet hobby as the western hognose snakes. A little bit more common than the southern hognose snakes. But check out those colors. This is actually a naturally occurring color in the orange. These guys come in orange, tan, brown, gray, red, orange, yellow, all kinds of colors. These were captive bred by Kevin Fisher. They're absolutely awesome snakes. These guys will actually play dead. They'll hood up like a cobra. But they don't stand up like a cobra. They more flatten out this portion of their neck. This is my male. They are about 1.5 years old. And you're probably wondering what I'm doing with this water. I don't usually soak reptiles. I think that it's more stressful for them than helpful, especially when I see people soaking bearded dragons and other desert animals. I think that's very stressful for the animal. I've heard people say that bearded dragons won't drink water unless they're soaked in a bathtub. Well, bearded dragons come from very arid parts of Australia for the most part. But anyway, with these guys, it's not too bad. They can stress easily, but as you can see, he's not hooding up. He's just trying to get away. They actually are rear fanged, but they're considered non-threatening to humans. But they do have a very mild toxin. So he's hooding up a little bit, tiny little bit. So the reason that I am doing this, as you can see, my female, she's a lot darker. Usually though, she's pretty red. I'm gonna go ahead and put the male back in his enclosure. This is their setup. It's a little messed up right now simply because I've been moving them around, but about 3 inches of sand that stays moist, and I keep their basking temperature at 110, and that allows them to decide where they want to be. Usually I see them in this corner over here around 90 to 95, but occasionally I do see them basking at 110 degrees for short periods of time. Always have water available and have a cool, damp area, cool, drier area, and a hot, dry area, and a hot, damper area. Gives them a choice to decide where they want to be. As you can see, they've recently sprayed feces. But back to my female. This is my female, and she's not feeling well. And how I could tell that she wasn't feeling well is the way she was acting. She was out in the open a lot. Seemed a little bit dehydrated, and you can tell they're dehydrated when they curl up. Their skin fold right here usually overlaps, and she just wasn't acting like her normal self, wasn't being alarmed when I was coming around. And so I decided that I would take her out and take a look at her, and I could tell that the base of her tail, basically this section of her tail, was a little bit swollen, and I didn't really like the way that looked. So I took a look at her rump here and it was had a little bit of sand and substrate on that area. So I thought, well, I guess she's impacted, which is a very dangerous thing for reptiles. And I know it seems gross, but I do love snakes, and I try to take care of them and take care of them under my care, because they're, you know, they got their purpose, and I'm passionate about them, and once you understand them, they're not all people think they are and scary. And see, she's just chilling. She's not feeling very good. Usually she's pretty peppy and aggressive. She's just curling up, trying to protect her vital organs. But anyway, so I started working with her, just kind of rubbing her tail and trying to get some of that dried feces and substrate off of the base of her tail, which I still need to look at it because it doesn't look completely normal. It looks maybe like there's a little bit of an abscess, or I can't remember what it's called, but it's basically where the inside kind of comes out a little bit, which she might just be doing that right now because she's alarmed. But I did rub her tail like this in a backwards motion to try to break some of the blockage up. And as you can see, there's quite a bit of feces right there. I know that's gross, but that kind of comes with taking care of reptiles, and sometimes they get backed up here in captivity because we just can't mimic what God's done and what they need in nature. So, see, she's kind of picking up there. She's feeling a little bit better. But I'm going to let her soak for a little bit, and hopefully she's also in shed, which you really can't tell, but she's already gone through the blue phase where her eyes get blue, and that has gone away. So she will need to shed. So I'm trying to avoid getting a stuck shed, which is one reason I'm soaking her. The other reason I'm soaking her is try to rehydrate her, because I took her over to her water bowl and kind of dipped her head down in it, and she drank for a pretty substantial amount of time. So I don't want her to be dehydrated, because kidney failure is also very common in reptiles. Dehydration in reptiles is a very long, painful process for them. They don't die from it, over the course of a couple of days. It takes several months, and once that damage is done, it's permanent damage. So I'm trying to rehydrate her, make sure she's good and hydrated, and I'm gonna let her soak in here, and maybe she'll go to the bathroom again. I fed them about a week ago, so she should be pretty much empty. But I'm just gonna let her relax, and it doesn't seem puffy or anything anymore. So hopefully everything is cleared out and she's not constipated, because constipation in reptiles will quickly kill them. But anyway, these are my eastern hognose snakes. And once she sheds, she'll look a lot more red. She's a very, very pretty red snake, deep red, not as orange as her boyfriend, but she's got a really pretty color to her. And hopefully in the next year, if everything goes well, she will lay some eggs, and I'll be able to help the captive population, because these guys in a few of their states are protected. Yeah, there you go. You're feeling better now. What I'm trying to do with her reacting is, when they do that, it will actually defecate, and that'll help clean her out a little bit more too. But in a lot of states, these guys are actually protected. In some states, they're very common. Texas, they're very common. Some of the northern states, they seem to be very common. In very select areas. In Georgia, they're pretty common. Alabama, I've only seen 2. So, very cool little snakes. But anyway, I'm gonna let her soak for another 5 or 10 minutes, and then hopefully she won't drown herself. But hopefully then she will shed and feel better. And then in the next couple of days, I'll feed them, and hopefully she'll eat and be doing well. But yeah, these are eastern hognose snakes. This is my female. Unlike the western hognose snakes, these guys come in quite a few different patterns and colors. That's fake striking is what she's doing. She actually doesn't strike with open mouth at all. But yeah. All right.